Okay, hello everyone. My name is Anastasia, and today we are going to discuss real-time omni-channel dashboards in Synerise. So during our presentation, I would like to cover with you three main steps. First of all, we'll do the short introduction, and we'll talk about how to manage all the customer data in one platform, so that you understand what we are doing here with data in Synerise. Later, we are going to address two challenges regarding the analytical dashboards. So let's start. First things first, how to manage all the customer data in one platform. Step number one is to absorb data from any source. In Synerise, we allow you to integrate your data, various different possibilities, different channels. With the help of our SDK, which are JavaScript SDK or mobile SDKs for Android or iOS, you will be able to generate really fast some default events. For example, from the JavaScript SDK, you will have a page visits instantly just by uploading it to the website. You will have information about session starts from the website. From mobile SDK, you will instantly have information about logging into the application or viewing different screens in your mobile app. But of course, you can also adjust it by generating your custom events. So something more. And here you have lots of different integration methods. For example, Open API or advanced webhook possibilities. With the help of such methods, you may, for example, integrate not only with online but also with offline channels. And also there is a possibility to synchronize your data by scheduling cycle imports. So for example, you want to have the synchronization with your some kind of CRM. There is also a possibility to do so, and other methods available here. So we integrate this data, and now we capture, as a step two, we capture all details of gathered data. We have the possibility in Synerise to store the custom attributes and custom tags in order to adjust the customer profile. We also have and mainly operate on events in order to have the whole activity of the user from various channels. And those events that we are describing here, they might have an unlimited number and type of parameters. Over here on the right, you have the screenshot of the visited page event. As you can see here, we have the action, which is page visit. We have all the parameters. For example, we might have here the exact URL of the visit. We may have information here about the source of the visit, about the time, etc., etc. So each event has this kind of set of parameters. And what is really important in this case is that you can create your own schema here. So for example, if you want to, let's say, send to the Synerise event from your offline store, which is, for example, entering your store, okay, you can create such a custom event. You can define your own parameters. For example, the time when the user entered the store, or maybe location. So it all depends on your business needs. But what is important here is that with this kind of structure, you will be able to save all of such data from different sources here. The next step, once we have this data, is also really crucial because it's to store gathered data indefinitely. And here we want to give you the possibility to manage the storage the most suitable way for you. What it means is that, for example, if you see that from the business perspective, you need to store transactional events in the system, let's say lifetime, you have the possibility to do that. And let's say that from your marketing perspective, you need to store events such as, for example, visited pages only for last week. So you can define that in the system, which gives you such kind of flexibility according to your business needs. And also what is important here is the security issue. In the era of GDPR and all the other legacies, it's important that you have the possibility to come back to your data in time and, for example, to see the history from, let's say, the year ago, okay, with the whole details about this customer. So now we integrated this data with all the set of parameters. We can store this data. And here we go with the step 4, which is to create unified profiles of identified individuals. Now we need to decide how we are going to identify our user, so that from all of these sources we create one contact card. In Synerise we have different client identifiers, and let's see. Over here in the first position you have a Synerise cookie. The Synerise cookie will be assigned by our SDK. It's the first step you usually do. And using this cookie, you will automatically create the customer profile in the system. So let's say if you have the tracking code on your website installed, then even the first touch point with your website is enough for us to create in our CRM the contact card of this anonymous user based just on this Synerise cookie. This cookie will be really important for you because this way you will be able to merge the user widgets from the very beginning. And then, of course, during the next period of time, you will identify your users. And in order to do that, you will have, for example, email address or maybe your own client identifier, so some kind of external custom ID that all of your systems are using and you want to use here. You can also do that. And then we will merge the user from different sources, from your legacy sources, from the mobile application, from, I don't know, e-commerce, based on such IDs. So now we have created the contact card with all of these details from the various channels. And we are going to the step number 5, which is to share data with any system that needs it. We know how important it is that if you're starting, especially using new system, that you can export the analytics and all the data from the system, whatever purposes you have. Over here, we give you the possibility to export client data as well as client events. We give you the possibility to export raw and also aggregated data. You can export this data one time, for example, by creating a file export in a CS file, or you can define cyclical exports, for example, in order to have everyday updates in your external platform. Of course, different people from your organization are going to work on these exports. So we give you the possibility to perform some exports from the CRM. So that, let's say, from the marketing perspective, it might be really easy to use, but also API methods, outgoing webhooks, and other methods of integration in order to export some larger sets of data. So now we know how we deal with the data in Synerise and what are our main scopes. And now let's go to analyzing the channel number 1. Our first channel is to create real-time BI dashboard. I work in Synerise as a project manager, and on my daily basis, I face with different stakeholders in the organization. Sometimes I talk to the marketing department, sometimes I talk to the business team, etc. And each team, they have their own needs when it comes to the dashboards. They analyze data from the different perspectives, and of course, at the end of the day, they want to see all of this data in one dashboard. And this is what we're going to talk about today. What is really also important here is that not only they want to analyze from the data from the different perspectives that they are interested in, they also want it to be omni-channel. It makes sense as we have the data here from different channels. It makes sense to display cross-channel analytics. And also, of course, having such system as Synerise, it's the benefit of having the analytics real time. This is what they're also looking for. So how to do that? First of all, we have the different type of analytics. We have the analytics possibilities such as, for example, segments and funnels that give you the chance to analyze the segments, the groups of contacts. You have metrics, trends, histograms in order to analyze events, not users, but their events, make some calculations on them. But then we have assets for advanced queries, such as aggregates, expressions, and of course, AI-powered analytics, such as churn analytics, attribution, or AI segmentation, for example. We have discussed segments during our previous webinar, and actually we are going to go deeply into these advanced possibilities like aggregates and expressions during our next sessions. So I'll not focus on that during this session. But I encourage you to join the next ones to learn more. So we have all these tools to analyze data, and of course, it's crucial here to be able to present this data. And in order to do that, we give you the possibility to create your own dashboard that suits your needs. As you see over here on the right, there is a short video presenting the way our dashboards are created. You can have here the predefined dashboards. So you just log into the system and you have this dashboard already created. But also you have the possibility to create your own template of the dashboard because there is a way you like to see the data. There is a way you report in the company. And you have this possibility, of course, also all the possibility to style the dashboard. As you see here, now I'm changing, for example, to the dark mode, all the colors and stuff. So you can create it the way it will be the most suitable for you and then use such dashboards. So let's not waste time and go to the platform to see how it actually looks like. Over here, I want to present you the general overview dashboard. So first of all, let's see what we have here. We have here at the very beginning some analytics for the marketing team. Let's say I'm the marketer who is interested by just logging into the system and see the most crucial statistics for me. And the most crucial data for me is, for example, the website visitors, recognized loyalty program members, and anonymous visitors. So we have recognized, anonymous. We know, for example, from those recognized, which of them are, for example, members of our loyalty program or not. This loyalty is our, let's say, goal. So this data at the very beginning is important for us. Then we have the information about the comparison of new visitors versus returning visitors, average time spent on the website, etc., etc. But not only we want, for example, to see these data, let's say numbers, but we want to see the daily traffic chart. And as you see here, having the data from different sources allows us to show you the kind of analytics which presents you on the time frame the visited web pages from the web desktop, so on your website, visit from your on your website, but from the mobile device, screen views, so the login and browsing the application, and also store visits. For example, with the appropriate integration, one of our clients does that. They have information about the store visits in the real time. You have it all on this one chart, and you can compare the results, and then, of course, work on that. What is also really useful for such marketing team, for example, the top sources of traffic. Over here for the demo, we have 4 of them. The most popular, let's say we have AdWords, we have LinkedIn, we have Twitter, and Facebook over here. So we see those tops from the top sources. Okay, So as marketing team, let's say I'm really happy with this dashboard. I can see the results, but now I want to see also the sales perspective. Now let's take a look what we have here. We have the daily reports of the number of customers from today, the new ones, which for me is important. Also comparison week report and monthly report. That you can set up your goals. And I usually face this that companies are doing that because it's easy. For example, you have your KPIs of number of customers during the month, and you can insert here your KPI as the goal. For example, here is 450, and monitor whether this number is close to your goal. Useful thing. Then you have the daily revenue, monthly revenue from the different perspective, and of course you can also see it on a chart depending on the months or days, however you want it. There is also a possibility to compare the data to the previous time period, which I also find really useful because if, for example, you're logging into the system, let's say once a day or even more, you want to see whether the number here is really accurate and is normal. There is no anomalies, and you want to see that so you can compare to the different periods. Now, of course, you have this revenue also calculated from different sources. So you have desktop, again, mobile application and offline. So you have it all on one screen. You have all the information about the average order value. Of course, please keep in mind that these analytics I'm presenting today, those are our analytics based on the most popular statistics that our customers are working on. But of course, as I mentioned before, you can manage here your own logic here. And now we have also here the average number of transactions per month. And now we see the PI analytics, for example, as well as transaction recency. So as you see, we have the marketing perspective, we have the sales perspective with our analytics also in the multi-channel. And now let's say that we have activated some campaign. And now we want to see from this campaign the results. Let me show you what we can do here. Let's say that we have created the campaign in Synerise, the cross-channel campaign that started online, then went from through the offline and come back to online. So let's say that we have the funnel, which started from the user who visited the website. And let's say we have here our event, which is a visited page. So the user visited the website from the Facebook. Then we created some campaign on your website showing that the user can upload the mobile application. We see that the user clicked on that. And then we analyze whether the user actually used this mobile application to generate promotion, activated this promotion in the mobile app, and used it, which is important in, for example, your offline store. This user received the thank you email for the purchase in the offline store. We send them the thank you email with some upsell recommendation, after which they made the transaction. So as you see, what I'm presenting sounds really advanced, but over here it's really cool that you can use events to simply clarify that, and it's quite easy to do. And then we go to the preview analytics, and we see on site funnel the number of people on every specific stage of such funnel I presented. Okay. And also from this stage, you can go to the, let's say, CRM and see the number of contacts. Okay, so we have the challenge number 1, and the challenge number 2 is actually to be able to see such kind of data, but in context of one specific user. And here is the challenge to create really advanced user performance analytics. Okay, let's go back to the system. So we are on the customer list, and so let's say I'm choosing the contact. So I'm going to the contact card now. I see the user with the activity. And as a marketer, I want to see the statistics for this specific user. And what I can do here, I can receive the statistics for the specific individual user. Okay, so what we have here also all the data that we want to store, like customer lifetime value, transactions, loyalty points, sources of visits. We can see here the information about transactions, as you see here, about the campaigns this user has been active. So all the, as well, marketing or sales perspective can be shown over here, and can also be defined by you, by your own logic over here on the customer cards. We have the predefined analytics in the system, which is, for example, for the for some campaigns of yours, so that you create a campaign and you want instantly to have the results, or you want to have the predefined dashboards. So you also can work on that. And maybe I encourage you to go over on our help.synerise.com, and over here, if you look for predefined dashboards, you will see the whole list of elements that we have predefined. As you see, there are quite a lot of them, and you can take a look whether they address your needs here. So today we have seen the perspective of from how to store the data to how what kind of possibilities we have here to analyze and present this data in Synerise.